And we back once again. This is week 2 of the Crow
Oso
show. So we're gonna make sure that we just tell you guys about what happened last week, week 1.
So whoever watched the episode last week, we made some picks. Picks. Let's go through the first game. The defending Super Bowl champions. Still hurts, but Detroit Lions, surprise of the week. Does Travis Kelce have a little bit to do with it? Maybe, but
Definitely.
I mean, Kadarius Toney could have very easily helped Pat Mahomes win that game. But the Lions, I will say, do look like a better team. I'll give them that much. I love Dan Campbell. I think Jared Goff is a solid quarterback.
Yeah.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, like I said, is a beast, man. That's going to be a good team.
Gibbs was nice, and they didn't even have Chris Jones there. So I wouldn't put too much stake on it. If I was KC, I would be like, you know what? We lost the first game. But Detroit's not the same team, and we didn't have all our pieces. So you guys are still good. Next, we got Carolina versus Atlanta.
Bijan Robinson already looks nasty. But I mean, Atlanta and Carolina are going to be two of those teams where they're just like the bottom of the NFC. I mean, it was kind of like one of those toilet bowl games. But hey, a win is a win for Atlanta, right? Yeah. Bryce Young, I told y'all. I mean, I know it's one game, but it looked pretty shaky already.
I mean, he has nobody to throw to, bro.
I mean, he got Adam Thielen at 47 years old.
Exactly. That was the reason he's not with the Vikings anymore.
Nah, I feel you.
All right, and then we got Cincinnati versus Cleveland. This was a shocker to me, but not to him.
I was telling Anthony, it's a shocker because the Bengals are just the way better team. What happened was, in the last 5 games before this game, the Bengals were 1-4 against Cleveland. Now they're 1-5 in the last 6. So for whatever reason, the Browns just have that I guess kind of like the Bengals kryptonite in a sense. But I trust Joey B. I trust Chase. I trust T. Higgins, Joe Mixon, the whole gang. I will say the flaw for the Bengals has been the offensive line. They still can't seem to protect Joe Burrow. Yeah, he didn't get sacked that much, but he was rushed and hurried a lot, so that's definitely still a point of concern for Cincinnati.
I think it's the kind of same thing that they had with Detroit and with Kansas City. I think that Cleveland isn't the same Cleveland that it was last year.
For sure.
I feel like they got Smith, right? And then they
still got Cooper. They got Moore.
Watson, after being knocking off more rust. I feel like that was great. I feel like the weather conditions were a big factor of the game. I think that it was in Cleveland's benefit to be able to have it a little wet because they can run with Watson, they can run with Chubb, they can run with Ford. But Mixon is nice, but they don't have the run protection for him, run blocking. And then Joe's not going to run because he had hurt knee, and that's not his game anyway. So I think the Bengals are going to be fine. I think that they're just going to have a slow start like they did last year. And Cleveland is going to be a force to be dealt with. So that's just what it is.
For sure.
Next is Jacksonville versus Indianapolis.
Told y'all Trevor Lawrence to Calvin Ridley's going to be lethal. I tried to tell y'all. The Colts scored more points than like they really should have. I like I said, his pick to be a bust. I hopefully have faith in that because I don't like what he did in preseason, like I said last week. The Colts scored more points than what they really should have. I think Jacksonville's going to be, I want to say now with the whole thing with the Jets going on, Jacksonville's going to be top 3 in the AFC. That's a bold prediction right there.
That is bold. That is. But you know what? I will say this. I thought that Anthony Richardson was the bust, and I still think. But I will say this. He didn't play like it. He played very well, to be honest, in my opinion.
Yeah.
For what I thought that he was going to do.
Somebody brought up a good point the other day. Shane Steichen, which was the Eagles' offensive coordinator last year, was the offensive coordinator for the Chargers for Herbert's rookie season. So he basically broke out Herbert in his rookie season, and then last year we all saw what he did with Jalen Hurts. So not that Anthony Richardson is like Jalen Hurts at this moment, but I mean he has the same kind of quality. So if Shane Steichen can do that with Jalen Hurts, who knows what he can do with our boy Richardson in the next 2 or 3 years. I mean, I hope not, but
that's a really good point. My problem is I think that Hurts is a better person with the ball. He takes care of the ball more than Richardson does.
Yeah.
I think Richardson has a good arm, which is a problem as much as it is a blessing because he may be a gunslinger.
Yeah.
But like Zach Wilson, which we'll talk about in a little bit. All right, next we got Tampa Bay versus Minnesota. Tampa Bay winning?
Tampa Baker. Yo.
Stop it.
I tell you what though, I mean he did throw a touchdown pass to Mike Evans. I mean, so that's definitely a good sign. I think this is more about how
Mike Evans.
I think this is more about how the Minnesota Vikings are just who we think they are, man. Like I said, skull these nuts. They're just not the Vikings. Like, I really want to like Kirk Cousins so bad. It's just they're just not that team.
I don't think it's a Kirk Cousins thing. Look, Baker Mayfield threw for 173 yards, a whopping 173 yards after starting like 3-12. Which is crazy when you have Godwin and you have Mike Evans, and you're only getting that against that defense. I think that's crazy. I think Baker Mayfield is who he's always been. I think he's an athlete, but he's an overhyped, overrated athlete. I think that I'm an OU fan, and when he went over 1 overall, I was like, do they know who they got? This guy put up big points in the Big 12, which isn't known for defense, but that's a whole other thing. I'll say this. I think that Kirk is nice. I think Addison looked good. I think Jefferson was balling. They need to address the defense. That's ridiculous. And I don't think Baker's going to do a lot this year. I think he talks a little too much to be that decent. You know,
to me, he's like sober Johnny Manziel.
Yeah,
that's really all.
That's hilarious.
That's really all.
Very true. And you know what? And I feel like the Minnesota Vikings are the NFL's Toronto Raptors.
Yeah. Oh shoot, that's a great comparison.
And I think that's exactly who
I couldn't be any more accurate. But I mean, you're right though, because Kirk Cousins was 33 for 44, 344 yards, but they somehow only managed to score 17 points. So I'm not sure what happened there.
Crazy. All right, Tennessee versus New Orleans. New Orleans won that one. They
scratched. They escaped out of that one. I mean, I thought this was a very sloppy game on both ends. You want to say it was a good defensive game on both ends, but it just seemed like both offenses were just really sloppy.
I feel like Tannehill is trash to me. Sorry, I'm gonna call that. I was surprised he went in the draft when he went to A&M. I was like, this guy got drafted, and then you targeted Hopkins.
I'm surprised D-Hop even chose to go to Tennessee to play with a quarterback like that. Even if it was money, though, I just don't. I didn't understand that move for D-Hop to go there.
Money, that's it. That's clearly it to me, because he should have went to Kansas City. If he went to Kansas City, that'd been a problem.
Now, I will say that the Titans were the number 1 seed 2 years ago with Derrick Henry and A.J. Brown. So I feel like they're trying to revive that with Derrick Henry with like DeAndre Hopkins. But DeAndre Hopkins did show like he's had some game on Sunday. You know what I mean? But like I said, Tannehill, I don't see it, man. I don't see
Here's the thing for Tennessee: you don't pay A.J. Brown, who's top receiver in the league, and
barely in his prime.
In his prime, right? Going into it, he's like, "Oh, I'm starting to figure out things, and I'm starting to come into my own. I'm getting out of puberty, and you guys want to cut me, and then we're gonna get D-Hop, who's on the decline. We're gonna pay him though, which doesn't make sense, you know. And then you only target Burks like 3 times that game, but you target D-Hop like 12. Makes no sense. That's a Tannehill thing. Anyway, we'll see where we go from there. Next, San Francisco, Pittsburgh.
One of those dogs in the NFC, man. San Francisco. I didn't expect Pittsburgh to get blown out like this. I thought Pittsburgh was better than what they showed on Sunday. Again, it's tough to show. Week 1 is one of those weeks now where like the NFL has like a preseason weeks 1 and 2 now because nobody plays during the preseason anymore.
Right.
But San Francisco, as expected, looked super dominant. Definitely a team that I fear as an Eagles fan. I think that he fears as a Cowboys fan. They're going to be really, really tough to be reckoned with.
Yeah,
sure.
Arguably the best defense in the NFC and the league. Screw that, the league. Like they were so hitting on all cylinders. I think that it's crazy because I didn't think the Steelers were going to be that bad. But the thing that I can say about that is that T.J. Watt, who I said was like my second pick for defensive player of the year, made a case for first because he had 3 sacks. And a forced fumble. Like, the dude was everywhere, which I think he's the best defender in football, arguably. I think he's a monster. He just put some more people around him. They got Minka, put some linebackers around him. I don't know what it is, but figure it out. Arizona versus Washington.
Another one of those good old toilet bowls. I wanted Arizona to help us out. I mean, we don't need the help, but because Washington isn't anything. But anytime anybody in
the division,
your own division loses, it's just like a good day. So the Commanders, the Commandos, whatever you want to call them, they're trash. They won, but they're trash. Ain't nothing much to be said there.
Yeah, I don't even want to waste my breath on that Washington college. All right, Kyler didn't play too. Was he hurt? Or what's going on with that?
Yo, apparently he's not. Apparently there's talks that he's going to be like out for the season.
You know what problem for me is the diva, prima donna type stuff, and I kind of get that vibe from him. I've even heard from Larry Fitzgerald, not personally. I was like, I'm not calling him on my cell phone, but in interviews, he's talked about how he's just very entitled. He's a winner. He's been winning his whole life. He had Heisman. He won like 3 championships in Texas. And
he went to OU.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
#1 overall and Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah, I think once upon a time in all sports, you had to win or show something to earn a massive contract. Now it's like you crying and get paid like these quarterbacks. And I mean, I'm not saying Kyler Murray's a bum by any means, but I don't think he's shown any greatness either, in my opinion.
Well, he was Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
I mean, he came out #1 overall, and he was better than what Baker was.
100%.
Right? Yeah. And I think that he shows promise, but it's just kind of one of those things where, do you pay people on talent or do you pay people on chemistry? Because I feel like he's not helping the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't care how good you are if our locker room looks like trash because you're there and you're not helping. If you're making the locker room, if you're canceling the locker room and we're winning, hey, you know what? Whatever, bro. Get together, we're all grown men, you know, figure it out.
100%.
But if we're not winning, then but the front office is trash. You let go of Simmons, you're dealing with Kyler. It's a lot. Arizona's trash too, so it's a total ball game. Yeah. Houston versus Baltimore.
Baltimore won 25-9. I feel like the blowout score doesn't really show how the game looked. I thought Baltimore looked kind of shaky at best. Something about Lamar just doesn't convince me. I think he's lethal. Don't get me wrong. I just feel like he's not clutch. There's a difference. You know what I mean? I thought that you should have used Rashad Bateman more. He threw one pass to Odell where, I mean, of course, Odell makes ridiculous catches all the time. Unfortunately for them, too, they just lost J.K. Dobbins to a torn Achilles, so it's going to be a tough road for Baltimore, I think, too.
Yeah, it's just trash to me. But it is what it is. I'm not even wasting my breath on them.
Stroud 2 for 242, though. I told y'all. I mean, he put up stats at least.
I mean, he threw 38 times. What you want him to do?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, look, man. I'm not even gonna go on that. I'm not a fan, but I think he's a bus driver. You know what I mean? All right, Green Bay versus Chicago. I was not expecting this.
I wasn't expecting this because I thought that Green Bay was gonna have a after-life hangover of not having one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time in Aaron Rodgers.
Thanks.
But Jordan Love, it reminded me of like when Aaron Rodgers like finally got his chance once like Brett Favre left after like 3 years of back and forth on trying to retire or not. It reminded me a lot of like that when Rodgers came in and Love came in and just, I mean, dropping 38 points on the road at Soldier Field, albeit Chicago is not, you know, the team that they used to be, but it's always a tough place to play.
Yeah.
And dropping 38 points is no easy feat. So I mean, I got my antennas up with them right now.
My thing is this: it's a question where I'm going again. Is it that they're that good? Is Jordan Love that good, or is Chicago that bad? Same with Fields. I'm like, what are you guys doing? I'm not impressed with anything that you guys did, but. You know,
like I said, 38 points in the NFL is 38 points in the NFL. So I mean, especially somebody that, you know, is basically his first start. So
that's true. That's very true. You know, only time will tell. Mm-hmm. Next, we have Las Vegas versus Denver.
Sean Payton isn't the answer after all. Jesus Christ! Same thing with the offense. Russell Wilson looked lackluster. They couldn't move the ball. They didn't have Jerry Jeudy, but to me, Jerry Jeudy hasn't proven anything
that he's
been in the
guy.
League. So. Denver looks the same as last year. I mean, scoring 16 points, same thing they were doing last year. So I don't see any changes.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I'm kind of with, you know, Peyton. Stop kissing them babies, man. Get on the field, work on your game. And I want to like you, Russ. You know, besides all the stuff outside, the TikToks and all that other stuff, that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
But get in the gym. Work on your passes. Work on your chemistry. Take your receivers to a trip like Brady did to like Cancun and just work on passes or something, because this is look terrible.
Buy your offensive line customized golf carts like Zeke did for Dallas that 1 year.
Man.
I will say, to that point really quick, if what Richard Sherman said about Russell Wilson having any kind of, I guess, popularity or like recognition as one of the best quarterbacks in the league, he credited that to the Seattle's defense, the Legion of Boom. It's making more and more sense now. If Russ has back-to-back years where he stinks with Denver, especially with Coach Sean Payton, what was said by Sherman is going to have some more and more truth to it. So this is a big year for Russ. He really got to step up, for real.
I think Sherman is overrated. He's been overrated because you were part of a Legion of Boom where you had amazing people who were pass rushing and you got people over the top. So I'm not going to discredit what you're saying because, you're an NFL player.
Yeah.
But I don't think that that's the case when it comes to... I think Russell is talented, but I do think that the extracurricular activities with Sierra and all these, I think that gets in the way.
Maybe future's in his head.
Hey, because his future isn't looking bright. All right, but either way it goes. All right, we're going to go to the next. We're going to skip and come back to this. Miami versus Los Angeles Chargers.
What a shootout this was, man. This is definitely the game of the week. Kellen Moore's offense looked good with a whole different team. Still looked good. I got to give credit where credit is due. I'm not a hater like this guy is, but...
What?
Tua looked good. His throws didn't look short. They looked very accurate. The game-winning touchdown where it just barely went over the corner's head. That was insane. I mean, the late hands by Tyreek were ridiculous too.
Yeah. But
Tua does deserve a lot of credit, but Tyreek Hill, I don't think a Lamborghini can catch that mother effer. I don't think a plane can catch Tyreek Hill right now. It's insane how fast he is. He's always open. Always open. There's nothing you can do.
Oh, man. Tyreek Hill had 11 catches for 215 yards.
It seemed like he had that by the first quarter.
It felt like it. It really felt like it. Yeah. Tua had a measly 466 yards. There's a reason why that kid is starting. I have faith in him. He does have Tyreek Hill, so I'm not going to say that he's just doing it all himself. He has great weapons. He has Waddle, he has Hill, he has he does a lot, okay? But he showed that he makes plays, and I think that that's what I like about Tua. I think that he has to strengthen his arm, but he's a playmaker, he's a baller, and I think I want that from a quarterback. So take that, Ryan Clark. You talk a lot of trash. You talk a lot of trash to Tua. Tua said we can handle it on the field or wherever. We scrappy. So that's exactly what he did. And
I didn't even expect a response like that from Tua either.
Yeah, man, I got faith in the kid. Seattle versus Los Angeles, with Los Angeles winning 30-13. What's up?
I don't know. Seattle, I thought would have been the heavy favorite in this game.
Yeah.
They lost 2 tackles. If y'all can help us out, I don't know. I can't remember if it was in the game or during the week in practice, but they lost 2 tackles. In fact, today we just got word that they just signed 41-year-old Jason Peters.
Man, Peters
having some issues at tackle. I'd have to go back and watch the highlights of that game. But 30-13. I mean, even to the Rams, that they don't have anybody right now. It's kind of shocking, to be honest.
I mean, Matthew Stafford was balling out. I did not expect that at all. That used to be our sleep. That was my sleeper team. So I guess they're going to stay sleep because these people came out to ball. Matthew Stafford had 334 yards, no interceptions, no touchdowns either. So I guess that's what it is. But Geno only had 112 yards passing. Mm-hmm. And if you guys watched, you saw that Aaron Rodgers was on his butt. He was running around and he literally yelled out, "Oh my God," if you don't believe it. Watch this clip real quick.
On third down, Smith, pressure comes late and it's incomplete. That pressure coming from Aaron Donald.
I told you, it's a game. It's serious. This boy Aaron Donald is, I say Aaron Rodgers, right?
Yeah.
I met Donald. You guys know who I mean. Donald is still a beast. For you to only hit DK Metcalf for 47 yards is crazy.
Yeah.
Because who are their cornerbacks for the
Rams?
The Rams. I don't even know them, right?
No idea.
So I don't know why that happened the way it happened, but that was definitely a shocker. I'm not gonna lie to you.
They also lost Tyler Lockett to injury in the first half too. So I mean, who knows? There's no excuse. They shouldn't have lost to the Rams.
No. So we're gonna go straight into Philadelphia versus New England. Philly wins 25-20.
Not the way I wanted. I mean, a W's a W in the NFL. Not the way I wanted to look. First game of the season. I mean, compared to Dallas and San Francisco, we look like the 3rd best team for sure. Jalen Hurts coughed up the ball, almost cost us the game in the 4th quarter. That definitely made me upset.
I've never seen Jalen get hit like that.
Yeah.
That was like his own, when Reggie Bush got hit.
Yeah.
I feel like that was his moment of yo, we here. So now he's like, all right, I got to get my stuff together. So.
The wet conditions affected a lot of games. I feel like our game was definitely affected by that. We started out on fire defensively. You know, with the offense, we started out, we jumped to a 16-0 lead. I was like, okay, here we go. Like, I felt very, very confident about that. The first half, though, after that, we didn't score no points in the second quarter. Third quarter, New England kept on making a run. However, in the fourth quarter, offensively, Hurts was making throws to Brown and to Smith. Very timely throws, very methodical kind of check downs that gained us, 10, 12 yards at a time. And then the front four for Philly, man. Jalen Carter already put the league on notice, man. The stats don't show it. We only had 2 sacks, but the game was controlled again by that defensive line. Like I said last week, our secondary is shaky, man. I don't like our secondary at all. You called it. I don't like our secondary. So just like last year, we have to control with the offensive line and the defensive line. And time of possession is going to matter for us this year. It's just if the other team has the ball, it's going to be a long year for the secondary because Slay and Bradbury can't do everything by themselves. At safety, I like Blankenship, but I mean it's only his sophomore year. He got kind of torched. I'm not gonna lie. The name I keep on trying to bring up is Sidney Brown. On special teams, he was a killer on Sunday. He's going to be our starting safety, I predict, but in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I think he's that good. With the loss of Dean now at linebacker, our linebackers are also weak. We got to somehow, I don't know if Nolan Smith needs more practice or needs to know the plays more, but what are you waiting for, Coach Sirianni? Let's do it. Let's just unleash him now.
No, let him rest. Let him rest.
No. Let's unleash him now. Let's unleash him now. I do think, and I'm glad that Coach Sirianni was able to, I guess, take responsibility for this, is that he thinks that he should have at least played his starters at least 1 or 2 drives this year during the preseason. Because, I mean, it showed we were super rusty. You know what I mean? But all in all, a W's a W. I'm glad that we're 1-0. Week 2 should be kind of target practice against Minnesota, but it's the NFL. You never know what could happen. But like I said, I'm glad. Patriots are no joke on defense. They proved to be a really, really good team. They threw a lot of looks at us. And again, it's Coach Belichick. I mean, you can never doubt. Like I said last week, I thought it was a trap game, and that's exactly what it almost ended up being. So, all good though. 1-0. Philly.
All right, I'm gonna be very honest with you guys, and I'll try to leave the bias stuff towards the end. I'll say this: that defensive line looked a fool. I was so glad that they barely put in Carter, but even the small moments that we saw him in there, he was like a lightning bolt. He was causing chaos. He was a problem. I told you guys I liked him more than I liked Jordan Davis, and I like Jordan Davis a lot. I would have drafted Jalen Carter as a sophomore in college because that dude is a problem. Mm-hmm. I think that the offensive line looked solid. It was okay. But I do understand that the weather conditions were a big part of both teams being where they are. And on top of that, everybody talks about the offense because the offense didn't look great for the Eagles. Mm-hmm. But I will say this. They were still facing a Belichick defense. Mm-hmm. Like Belichick is a defensive guru. So I wouldn't say, that would happen against, I don't know, New York, or that would happen against, the Vikings. It's not going to happen. Yeah. That defense is underrated and a problem with Judon and Mills and all those other guys. Kyle, Duggar, all that. But I will say this. I was very pissed off while watching that game because 16 of those points, or 14 of those points shouldn't have happened. Right. Well, I think that was the point. Well, yeah. Did you guys miss something? How was it?
Slay had a pick six.
Yes, that was
Aaron pass from Mac Jones,
and it was kind of like a Tony thing. Because it hit right off the guy's hands with the water, and it hit right into Slay's hands. Yeah. I was like, you got to be kidding! They're already good. You're gonna start having lucky plays too.
Yeah.
What is this going? And then
Zeke, the next drive, Zeke
got a good first pass. Handoff, and he ran for 11 yards. Right.
Yeah.
Second handoff, screen pass. He
got tackled by Jordan Davis from behind.
Coughed it up.
Which Zeke doesn't fumble, so it was a good hit by. It was a great hit by Davis.
Zeke has been fumbling at the end of all us Cowboy fans know. Towards the end of his career, he was eating less. That's why he lost so much weight. He's not doing what he needed to do. And I will say this: it's weird seeing Zeke in a different uniform, but
he's playing for America's team now.
No, yeah, he was playing for America's team.
Now he's playing for America's team. The New England Patriots.
What's their record? What's their record?
6 Super Bowls.
No, what's their record?
America's team.
What's their record?
It's week 1, bro.
What is it? But it's week 1 though. Let's just go from week 1. Are they undefeated?
No, they're not. They're playing against the reigning defending NFC champs. They weren't going to win that game anyway.
So they lost. So I don't care about what anybody says. Google it. I'm tired of telling you guys this. We know who America's team is. But all right, to see Mac, I will say this: I was impressed with Mac Jones. Right? Yeah. He was doing a lot of things that I was really impressed with. I'm not saying it was Tom Brady, but it was Tom Brady-esque to be down that much at home and to just chip away at it. There were problems, things didn't get converted. There were a couple of calls that didn't get called. Do you remember Blankenship in the end zone?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a pass interference?
Yeah, give or take.
That lets you know how bad it was. Because if he's admitting it, that means that shit was pretty blatant.
Yeah.
But other than that, they still won because they were literally, legitimately, I think, the better team.
Yeah.
They just weren't, like you said, I think they should have played people in the preseason.
Yeah,
They're just rusty.
I think to that point, I think we were the better team, and I'm glad that we won. I just think we didn't properly execute when we needed to execute. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna lie. Yes, we did get kind of lucky with everything, but we are the better team, and I'm glad we won.
Yeah. All right. So you got any more points on that game?
No. On to week 2.
On to week 2. All right. Next game is Dallas versus New York.
Forget that talk about San Francisco's defense. I think Dallas has the best defense, and I almost want to say by far. I think he's not giving his team the credit this team deserves. However, I will say this, all right? Dallas plays great football in September. In September. So, but like I said, not usually, all the time I know what I'm talking about. It's Dallas, San Francisco, and Philadelphia. Simple. I wasn't surprised. I was surprised that New York didn't put up more of a fight. Yeah. But I'm not surprised that the Cowboys won the way they won. I didn't think it was going to be a 40-0 shutout. I thought it would have been 35-17, 30. I thought it was going to be something in that realm. But, there's nothing to even say about Dak in the offense because it was just all defense. It's ridiculous. That defense was just, it looked like they were playing a junior varsity team. Yeah. And as an Eagles fan, it definitely it kind of put me on notice. It did.
I'm just gonna say this. It's kind of similar. A lot of games this on the East Coast were kind of affected by the weather conditions. Mm-hmm. So it was raining, right? Mm-hmm. But it was raining for both teams. So I'm gonna say I'm like you. I thought New York would have put up a better fight. I think they were trash, but I didn't think they were wet trash. But I told you guys there are a lot of things that went right. There are a lot of things that could be improved on. But I will say this: I think that our defense is in the tops of discussions.
Bro, it's the best defense.
I think it's arguably the best. Arguably, but here's the thing with that: I think that I wouldn't sleep on San Francisco. Right?
I'm not sleeping on them. I'm just saying y'all have the clear-cut best defense.
See, I don't say clear-cut, right? Because New York is not the Steelers. They're not the Steelers. They're not. They're not close to being as good offensively as the Steelers are. Daniel Jones is trash. He's wet trash. Why give him that contract? I don't understand it. But you still have Saquon Barkley, who's good, but he hasn't really done anything because he's getting injured all the time. And then you have who? Receiving wise,
Sterling Shepard, but Sterling Shepard's torn his ACL twice. Darren Waller was a no-show.
It was crazy.
Yeah, it was bad.
But I will give my team some credit. Our defense looks amazing. Our line looks good. We have a great rotation of pass rushers. Our linebackers look good. Even with the injury of Overshown, which would have been our best. I think he was our best draft pick from Texas. Who I'm so upset he got hurt. But you got him. Michael looked great. Trayvon Diggs, who you guys keep disrespecting. People keep saying, oh, he's not that great. And he forced 2 fumbles, right? Mm-hmm. Then we had Gilmore, who got one of the interceptions that we had, one of our 2. Micah got one sack, but he was
his interception, by the way.
Which one?
The one that Gilmore had was ridiculous.
Crazy. It was a veteran IQ play. It was just I'm still getting this. I got it, and let's go for it. So hopefully we build on this. But I don't want to get too hyped because, like I said, New York. I thought they were going to be putting up more of a fight, but they were just getting beat. They just took it. They were just I'm already losing. Punch me in the ass. Punch me in the nuts. Punch me in the throat. Do what you want to do. And I'm like, it's ridiculous. You guys were just. New York is getting railed in every sport right now, and it's really embarrassing between the Mets, the Nets, the Yankees, the Bills, who we're going to talk about in a second, the Jets. Like, if I was New York, I'd shut it down, all New York for COVID, and just blame that, because you guys look horrible right now.
Yeah, no, it's bad.
I'm just looking forward to next week, because hopefully we won't play Aaron. Oh, he's not. Yeah, hopefully next week we'll play a guy by the name of Zach Wilson.
It's not hopefully. Aaron Rodgers it's official. He tore his Achilles, he's done for the season.
Ooh.
You know, luckily for you, Cowboys Nation, because you've never beaten Aaron Rodgers a day in your life. So I was looking forward to that loss next week, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So
looks like you're going to have to.
Congrats on your 2-0.
Oh, wait. Yeah, you're welcome. We both are probably going to be 2-0. Yeah. We both playing trash teams next week. But we'll talk about it. The next team. All right, New York against the Buffalo Bills.
I don't know what to blame on this game, man.
I do.
We were talking about it earlier off camera. Josh Allen with the 4 turnovers. He's better than that. We both know he's better than that.
Way better than that.
But it just seems like the turnovers were just all super careless, man. It just didn't make sense. The Bills should have ripped the Jets hard out when they had the chance after Aaron Rodgers went down. So the fact that the Jets won that game, whether they were playing inspired football because of 9/11 or they were playing inspired because of Aaron Rodgers, the fact that they were able to pull that game off, I'm still kind of mind blown from it. But I expect the Bills to still be the best team in the AFC East. I really do.
You think so?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I picked the Jets, but now without Aaron Rodgers, I mean, it's don't sleep on the Patriots either. Now,
don't sleep on the Patriots. Don't sleep on the Patriots or Miami.
No, definitely Miami. I'm just saying the reason why I don't put Miami up there is because I just don't know how their defense is going to look yet. That's the only reason why.
Last week you said you didn't trust him because of Tua. Sounds like somebody's singing a different tune.
No. But hold on. I said that they could still score points because of Tyreek and Jalen Waddle. Like, they have a lot of weapons. I just don't trust Tua to get it done when it really counts. Okay. That's what I was saying.
That's valid.
And I also said that defensively, Miami doesn't. I mean, even this week they still allowed the Chargers to score 34 points. You know what I mean? So I think it's definitely going to be between the Bills and the Dolphins, and like I said, it's going to be a sleeper with the Patriots.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a different one. I hate that Aaron Rodgers went down because personally I wanted to see him on a different team, see what he was going to do with Wilson. But that Jets defense is legit.
It is.
It's legit.
It's almost heartbreaking for me.
Yeah, it's really hard.
It's kind of sad. It's honestly a sad day in the NFL because it just doesn't make sense that, I mean, there was so much hype around this move, and for the Jets during the offseason, it's just for it to be taken away in 4 snaps is just insane. You know?
Yeah. So, well, that was a recap of all of that. We're going to go straight into week 2 picks.
Week 2.
All right, we're going to go through it really quickly, do a little bit of rapid fire, see what you got. We're going to go Minnesota, Philadelphia, Thursday. Who you got?
Philly 2-0.
Philly is easy. Sorry, Kirk, you're not the captain. All right, Green Bay versus Atlanta. Who you got?
Green Bay for sure. I'm not even going to go against them the rest of the year, I don't think.
Yeah, I'm going to go Green Bay. I'm not as sold as him on Green Bay, but Atlanta has continuously been.
I mean, if they're playing bad teams like Atlanta, that's what I meant.
Yeah, they're still ATL Dookie. Vegas versus Buffalo.
Nah, okay. All right, relax, Buffalo. You have to win this game.
You got to.
Regroup and blow them out. It shouldn't even be close.
You should. I'm going to go Buffalo, too, because Allen doesn't play like that. Hopefully, he kind of... On another note, I think Buffalo needs to get another receiver. That's a whole another thing, but that's it.
I like Gabe Davis, but I don't know. It's just... I like Kincaid last night, though.
Kincaid is nice.
I thought, Kincaid is better than Knox already, I think.
Was it Cincinnati? Utah? Was it Utah?
I think he's a
Utah or Cincinnati. Either one. I do like him. I remember seeing him in college. I just don't remember what school. All right, next game. Baltimore versus Cincinnati.
Cincinnati's not going to go 0-2, so they're definitely going to win this week.
Yeah, if the field is dry, then I don't see them losing to Baltimore. Yeah. Baltimore hasn't shown me anything that makes me think that, you guys are the truth.
No,
Seattle versus Detroit.
Detroit.
I'm going Detroit too.
Damn, Seattle's in trouble already.
That's crazy. Shit. You should be at least 1-1 first week.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, second week. But Detroit is not the same Detroit, man. So we're going to go with that too. So Los Angeles Chargers versus Tennessee.
Tennessee's one of those teams that plays well at home. And the Chargers, like I said last week, it's like you want to like them, but they just find ways to choke. It's so weird. But I'm going to go with the Chargers.
I'm the same way. I'm going with the Chargers. I haven't seen anything from Tennessee, especially with Tannehill. I don't have faith that he'll deliver my food. Yeah. I don't trust him. All right, Chicago Bears versus Tampa Bay Bucks.
Tampa Baker, he's here.
I hate that. And here's the thing. I don't like a lot of quarterbacks in the league. And he's easily in my top 5. I cannot stand him. But the defense is okay, and I have more faith in Evans and Godwin. You know, they'll do their thing. So I'm going to go. Chicago, Justin Fields, get your stuff together because you're proving that Ohio State quarterbacks can't get it done.
Yeah.
You're proving it. Yeah. Kansas City versus Jacksonville.
Ooh. I didn't even realize this was a week 2 match.
I didn't either.
Yo, the champions are going to go down 0-2 to start the season.
You know what?
Jacksonville's winning this game. Jacksonville's tough at home. That is not.
They are tough at home.
That is never freaking spoken about. Jacksonville, whether they're good or ass, they don't lose in Jacksonville. I don't know what it is. And
he said that before. It's been true. It's proven to be true.
Yeah, I think, the champ's gonna start 0-2.
You know what? It's gonna be hard. I'm gonna go with Kansas City. I feel like Pat just has something in him, bro. Like that.
I agree, but who's he going to throw to? I don't know if Kelsey's going to come back yet.
I hope he comes back. Right? They just said he was down because he was questionable week 1. So hopefully by week 2 you should be better, right? Yeah. So I'm assuming that Kelsey is going to be better. If Kelsey's better, they win that game.
I also think let's not underestimate like hyperextension of the knee is actually very serious. That means that basically like the ACL, the PCL, and the MCL, they stretched to the point where they almost tore. So that's not. I hope he's okay, but I don't think it's like as simple as they're trying to make it out to be. I hope he's okay, but I don't know. We'll see.
Damn, Dr. Oso, you should have said that before I made my pick.
I'm just saying. They did get back Chris Jones. He signed like a 1-year contract, so hopefully that defense is better.
That's going to be a huge difference. So I think I'm going with Kansas City. He's going to go with Jacksonville. Yeah. All right, next, Indianapolis versus Houston.
Put me to sleep right now.
For real, goodness. Just flip a coin and say who won and who lost.
Let's go with Houston because fuck Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, I'm not. You know what? Honestly, I'm going to go, man. God, they're both so
ass.
It's so bad. I'm just gonna say, and I don't like Anthony Richardson, so I'm gonna say Houston.
Yeah, not Houston. He's just winning that game.
Yeah. Easy. San Francisco, Los Angeles Rams.
It's no coincidence that SoFi has SF in it because it's going to be San Francisco by a landslide.
Facts. I don't know if it'll be a landslide because their young receivers impress me. I don't even know who they are. Was it that their defense was bad?
You talking about the Rams?
Yeah.
Atwell, some guy named Pakula that balled out week 1, but bro, you can't compare Seattle's D to San Francisco's D.
No, but their cornerbacks have usually been pretty good. Kobe Bryant, Michael Jackson, you know what I mean? Their safeties.
Kobe Bryant and
Diggs,
Michael Jackson.
I know.
Go figure.
What about, was I didn't even see, did Jamal Adams play?
I don't think so. Did Bobby Wagner play?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
He balled out. Still balled out. He could have went to Dallas. Thanks, Jerry. He wanted to come. Just like Von Miller wanted. I'm about to go down a whole rabbit hole. Screw whatever. All right. Yeah, I'm going to go with San Francisco. New York versus Arizona. God, there's so many trash games this week.
Honestly, it's again one of those teams that are just good at home. I'm going to go with Arizona. Because anyways, who cares about the Giants? The Giants should win. But Arizona's a good home team, whether they suck or not. Again, it's kind of like same thing with Jacksonville. They don't lose at home very often.
You know what? I'm going to go with Giants because I hope that they win so it gives us more credibility for shutting them out. But I think they got more talent.
Yeah.
But I'm like, why y'all so trash? I'm just going to go. I'm going to go Giants. I'm going to go Giants. I don't like y'all. I hate y'all. Y'all play like trash. New York Jets versus Dallas. You got
Aaron Rodgers. You should have played, man. You know you're the Dallas Cowboys kryptonite daddy, half owner, whatever you want to call yourself, man. This hurts as an Eagles fan because I wanted you to take care of them this week. Jets defense, if you come out to play, we'll see. But it'll be Dallas. Very convincingly so. I don't have faith in Zach Wilson. Sorry.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers hurt. I think he just didn't want to go against Dallas.
Yeah, that's what it is.
This is a different defense.
Sure.
This is a different defense.
Okay,
I'd sit out if I were you too, Aaron. You know, consider retirement, bro. It's not it for you. So, he may be back week 3. Who knows? I don't know.
So, that comes out.
I'm going to go Dallas. It's going to be 2-0. I don't have faith in Zach Wilson at all. He'll sling maybe 2 interceptions. I'll give him 2 interceptions. Washington versus Denver.
Russell Wilson comes out and gives Denver the first one of the season with a final score of 3-0.
With a booming offense of 3 points. Yeah, I'm going to go with Denver too. I think Washington's trash, and hopefully he's not, Russell Wilson doesn't give a whole speech about going 1-1. Come on, guys. Let's ride.
Let's ride.
Trash. Miami versus New England.
Ooh, that's a Sunday night game this week?
I kind of like that.
Ooh. The Patriots defense is not the Chargers defense. I suspect Miami should still pull the game off though. Miami, tight game.
I agree. Division game, I think that it's going to be really tight. Mm-hmm. I'm like you. I think the Patriots defense is something different, but it's going to be tight. I can see it going either way. But with the momentum that they have, I'm going to go with Miami.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Monday we have New Orleans versus Carolina.
If New Orleans would have looked better against Tennessee, I would be more convinced to pick New Orleans, but let's give the rookie and the Panthers their first one of the season.
I'm going to go New Orleans simply because, Michael Thomas, Williams, they didn't look great, but hopefully it was just rust because they don't play people in the preseason.
Yeah.
Cleveland versus Pittsburgh.
If Cleveland looks anything like they did against Cincinnati, they should definitely be able to beat Pittsburgh. But again, it's one of those games. You're in the same division. Pittsburgh's looking to bounce back. It can go either way, but let's go with Deshaun Watson in Cleveland.
I'm thinking the same thing. I kind of want to have faith in them, but Kenny Pickett isn't showing me what I thought that he would be for the Steelers. So I know Pickens is already tired of him.
I just got word actually that Deontay Johnson, the wide receiver 2 behind George Pickens, is going to be out with a hamstring for the next 4 to 5 weeks. So I expect to see the ball thrown to George Pickens a lot.
You know what? I'm hoping that Steelers Nation gets tired of Mike Tomlin, right? And I hope they fire him. I hope so.
I was worse than what Jason Garrett was to Dallas. Golly.
And I hope they hire him in Dallas.
Yeah.
I like him.
You like Tomlin?
I do like Tomlin.
Yeah,
to do what he did with the talent that he has. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's always been a solid coach for Pittsburgh.
Always. I don't think they have had top tier talent. And I think that's a problem for them.
I thought you were going to try to go after Deion Sanders once he took Colorado to the national championship this year. With all the hype.
They're going to have like 3 losses.
Yeah.
Even though they have a weak schedule, but they're going to have 3 losses. I don't think they'll make it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, so that's our picks. You guys want to make... Oh, by the way, I didn't say it last week. It was very tight. We both had a tight record. I think he was 9-7. I was 10-6. It was very tight. We'll see what we do this week. Still bet on us, man. If you listen to us, I think you may make some money if you want to do that. Or you just have bragging rights. For those who don't know football and you're watching this, take this to your significant others or your siblings or your uncles or your relatives and tell them what we told you. They're going to be like, damn, you know what you're talking about.
Yep.
That's just it, okay?
Yep.
We are the cheat code, all right?
That's right.
You got anything else?
Week 1, it's kind of one of those things where everything's kind of like a feel out for the entire league.
True.
Week 2, week 3, week 4, you'll see us have 1 loss prediction, 2 loss predictions. We'll get better and better as time goes. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Bet your money on our takes because we're the best in the game. Crow Oso, we out.
Sorry for that. We'll say it again one more time because what was that noise out there?
Some bullshit ass bike.
Damn, ragged ass bike over here.
I was saying like, comment, share, subscribe, bet your money on our takes because we're the best in the game. Crow Oso Show, week 2, officially in the books.
Hey, bet on it, baby.
Let's do it.
We out.